Good round, both men having their moments and both landing big shots right up to the bell. Hard one to score.
I thought this was a better round for Joyce, to be quite honest. I thought he outworked Daniel in this round. There was some eye-catching stuff from Dubois, but probably not enough of it. A little short 1-2 there from Joyce, who's boxing well at range. Volumes coming from Joe, the quality shots, the eye-catching stuff's coming from Dubois. But I just thought he was outworked there, so for me, Joyce narrows the gap.
Okay? What round is this next one?
That is agony for Daniel Dubois between rounds every time as they try to work away on that swelling, and Richie's got it by just 1 point in favour of Daniel Dubois. And I tell you what, that third round which Richie scored level, who knows, it might be that it is absolutely dead level at this point. Joyce still up on his toes and still looking as though he's got plenty in the tank. Good jab.
Well, I said in the pre-fight program that we did yesterday that if Joyce is going to win this contest, he's got to do things differently. He's got to revert back to that in and out stuff, and that's what he's done tonight. He's boxed quite clever, I think, Joyce, on the outside. Most people thought he was just going to march forward, but you know, he hasn't won an Olympic silver medal for nothing. He has got a good boxing brain, and he's used it tonight. He's boxing at distance, and yes, I think Dubois is still very dangerous. But he's done what his opponent didn't think he was going to do. He stayed at range.
Good jabs by Joyce. Boxing well here in this 9th round. The Olympic silver medalist, who to many people's eyes who watched that Olympic final in Rio, he was very unlucky not to come away with the gold.
Yeah, absolutely. I commentated on it. Desperately unlucky.
Is it going to be his night? Dubois has given an awful lot. You can see, just looking at the two men, who has taken the more damaging shots.
Pace has just slowed a little bit in this round. That's probably suiting Dubois, if anything. I think Joyce himself has just took his foot off the gas slightly, and that's probably favoured Daniel Dubois. As I say that, nice 1-2 from Joyce.
Doing a lot though, Dubois, is he? Waiting for Joyce to commit himself, looking for the opportunity to launch one of those big overhand right hands, maybe.
Again, though, Joyce moving to his right, he's moving away from the shot. There, as I speak, then he just takes the sting out of that because he's moving away. His movement is better, you see. Obviously, he risks walking onto a left hook, but Daniel hasn't really thrown that. He hasn't threatened with that shot. It's the right hand that he's really looking for. So with Joyce moving to the right, he's moving away from it, and it's just taking the sting out of it, John.
It's a better left-hand lead from Dubois that time. But here comes Joyce again, fighting for the full 3 minutes of the round, right the way up to the bell, and finishing strongly, and Dubois absorbing some punishing shots in the last few seconds of that round. And you saw there Joyce looking to the Dubois corner, holding up his arm as much as to say, what do you think now? This is reality.
Indeed, that was a good round, I thought, for Joyce there.
When you're edging him back with your feet, your feet got to be underneath it. 3 rounds of one winning. You keep your composure, don't get tucked into the fight. Got me? Got it? Oh? 9 minutes of concentration and nothing stupid, and this is your fight.
Apologies for the language once more in the Joyce corner. But he is indeed just 3 rounds away. And on Rich's card now, absolutely level. And I tell you what, I've got it just edging to Joe Joyce. It is that sort of fight. It is very close. But Joyce looks the stronger and looks the more sprightly as we enter the 10th.
I think Dubois has got to work a little bit harder, John. Yes, there are flashes of what he can do, and we all know that the power he's got, but he's probably not working hard enough, and he's just being outworked a little bit. Oh
dear, it's the left eye, and he's gone down. He's gone down with a jab right on that damaged left eye, and down he goes, and it could be that it's all over right here. He's had enough, he doesn't want any more, and Joe Joyce, by stoppage, is the new British, Commonwealth and European champion. We asked whether that damaged left eye was going to be a decisive factor for Daniel Dubois, and so it proved. Joe Joyce, with the accuracy of the left-hand lead, has bossed this fight in the closing stages. After round 6, he came on strong, and Joyce is the man who has those big opportunities, maybe next year.
Unbelievable. I can't believe what I've just witnessed there. The way he went down, obviously, I think it was from a shot where it just, look at his eyes completely closed. Did it close literally as that shot was landed and he couldn't see out of it and thought, oh, just can't see my opponent? That must have been the situation there.
I think it's extraordinary. I think it was just a left-hand lead.
So there, look, he gets one in the eye. Now he can't see. He goes down and takes the count and doesn't get up. But look at it here. It looks like it's closed there. But that was a shot that was banged on the button. That was banged on that eye. And he looks up. Doesn't seem to be able to see Joe Joyce. Turns away. Goes onto the knee. Let's have a look at it again from here, John. It's right on the eye, isn't it, that shot? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Ian John Lewis counts him out, looks into his eyes. It's all over.
Joe Joyce did his trademark celebratory vault, and his supporters, there's a few of them, his family members up on the balcony, are going absolutely bonkers. Here's the celebratory flip, and the big underdog. He was 3-1 against winning this. Didn't look like it.
No, but he's boxed a clever contest, hasn't he, Joe Joyce? Everyone thought he was just going to walk forward. For most of this contest, he stayed on the outside and just petted him with the jab, and he's boxed very, very clever. But that's probably where his Olympic pedigree comes into it as well. He has got a good boxing brain, and he's used it. But it was very close. Sadly, did I have it even, Steven? So it was a very, very close fight. But the general consensus was that if it went over 4 or 5 rounds, then the tide would turn, and it would be for Joe Joyce. But that's just an extraordinary ending, the way it's ended there, John.
It was a wee bit longer than that, wasn't it? It was kind of after about the 7th that it was all Joe Joyce from there. He couldn't see properly. The tank was increasingly looking as though it was pretty much empty with Daniel Dubois, and Joe Joyce just kept on coming as he promised he would. And he said to him, you are going to have to respect your elders. And he certainly does now.
Yeah, unbelievable, and a good performance. And Dubois, Dubois' young, he's going to come again. And I'm sure that if he hadn't got that injury, of course, he would have just continued. But if he can't see out of that eye, then, it was inevitable that he had to call it a day.
He's going to be bitterly disappointed. There were points early in the fight where he was almost shaking, almost with shock in the corner at what was coming at him from Joe Joyce, and also the fact that he was landing the big shots and they weren't putting him away.
Well, 2 or 3 times he really went for it, didn't he, as if he tried to knock Joe Joyce out. But Joe Joyce weathered the storm every time. And then Dubois, after he exerted so much energy, he stepped back, he had a look, he thought, this guy is still there. And maybe the doubts were then creeping into his mind. I don't know, but whatever. At the end there, he just didn't want to continue, and that might be a little bit alarming for some people to see that. But when you got one eye closed and you've got a man like Joe Joyce in front of you, can you blame him?
Well, had that not happened, it had almost reached a stage where you'd be wondering whether or not the referee was going to step in to stop it, because when you can't see, there is a danger, of course, of serious damage happening. So it is victory for Joe Joyce, and here is Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 36 seconds of round number 10. Our referee in charge, Ian John Lewis, reaches the count of 10. Therefore, your winner by way of count out. And now the new British, Commonwealth, and European heavyweight champion, Joe the Juggernaut Joyce.
Fair play. He came here at 35 and produced the performance of his life. Bitter disappointment for Daniel Dubois. He can perhaps come again, he surely will, but for Joe Joyce, 2021 looks very, very exciting indeed. And here's the moment he said would be his. He said, I'm going to get those belts, and I am going to show that I am number one and that I am better than Daniel Dubois, and that tonight is what he's done.
And all the title belts are his in only his 12th professional fight. But David Hay, after 5 rounds of that, Martin Bowers in the corner to Daniel Dubois.